Hey there, Ginger Bratzel with you. How's it going today? We always like to share tips, I'm going to try that again. Tips, strategies, and ideas and techniques for building your service-based business. So if you're a service provider, if you have a service business where you offer a good something that you do, that's what we're always talking about. We work with a lot of healthcare professionals, a lot of service-based businesses. And right now, you guys got a lot to offer, and we want to make sure you get it out there in the world. So it's always our pleasure to be here. And so every week I come back with a strategy, something to think about and go through. And it's based on what we're working with clients on, what we've been talking about, what we're seeing other businesses do that's really smart. And we like to share it here and going through. So we share it on our podcast, we share it on Facebook Lives or YouTube's videos, just to get that information out there so you can use it as a learning lesson and going forward and making that happen. And so that's what we kind of thought about for this week, what to do. And service-based businesses, you need people. And so all during the economic slowdown that's been going on right now, the COVID issues, which we don't dwell on, but it's affected the economy. Service-based businesses have been affected, and we talk about going back to your people, go back to your people, go back to your people, go back to your people. And we talk about communications and contact, and it's that connection that's going through. And so, that connection doesn't end just at your customer. There's a whole bunch of other people that are we call it your unpaid sales force, people who are there to support your business, affiliated with your business, even indirectly. And, with those people kind of got left off right now because we're all so worried about doing what we need to do and making that happen. So as we go through making those changes, we need to look at something else. So we talked about making some changes and kind of focusing a little different going through, and we're talking about going old school. So that's our theme today, is keeping it old school. There's so many new technologies, and expensive things and gizmos and gadgets and shiny objects. So pay-per-clicks, SEO, websites, social media. What's the latest and greatest little thing? I spent a day with somebody talking about Reels, and that's great. And they spent, talking about this technique that's going to take a certain amount of time, but there was nothing about it, the customer. There's nothing about the person you're serving. It's just making it. So if it didn't have an action, why are we doing it? So when things get complex, it's sometimes really good to go back to basics. It's time to strip it down and get a little nitty gritty is what I call it, and making that happen. So that's what we're talking about, going old school. So with your customers, we talked about communication, but there's a whole group of people that are getting neglected in this old school right now that could really use your services and what you've got to offer. And I'm just trying to change my slide here. Where did it go? I'm going to bring it up right quick, guys. That's the beauty of live. There we go. See if it's, yeah, let's go back there. It just went to sleep on me. Had it all set up and let it sleep. So we're going to make this work. I feel like Tyra Banks on Dancing with the Stars. So where does your focus need to be? Under your business, under your whole operation, there's a lot of people that support you who are not on the payroll. And you don't know it, or there's a lot of people that can be supporting you and you don't know it. So we get so busy doing the services and doing what we need to do, we kind of forget about building the business. We always say people forget about marketing until it slows down, and that's the worst time to start marketing. Marketing needs to be going on the whole time. And when I talk about marketing in the sense today, it's connection. So you've got to be out there and making sure people know who you are. So when you first started your business, you got out there, you shook hands, you said hi, you went and introduced yourself to everybody, and then you got busy doing the business until things slow down, and then you got to do it again. When you're looking and leveraging your business, so let's say you're maxed out, you have the maximum number of clients, and you're just strapped. You can't get another customer in. How are you going to leverage it? When you go to look for the next person to leverage it to help you in that sequence, if you haven't been building those relationships a long time along the line, we call it the on deck circle. you're not going to have it. You've got to have those people kind of lined up. There's got to have the relationship because there's a lag for everything. Just like the live broadcast, there's a lag to going through. So keeping it old school, we need to be talking about the network. And let me tell you, I am an introvert, and a lot of you can relate to this. I hate getting out there and doing these kind of things. But I know if it's part of my business, or if there's ways I can have a buddy go along with me, or is there somebody in my company that I can delegate this to, and where I'm working on doing the things and they're doing the networking stuff, that's important. But right now, networks, because they've gone virtual, they've shut down. We are so busy in our world figuring out what we need to do. We're so internalized with all this. We forget there's a whole lot of other people out there that are in similar situations or need our services and we don't even know it, or they have customers that can do it. So, back to the chambers of commerce is very old school. I was talking to one in my area that nobody is promoting anything as far as information and trying to get education out there. It's like, yeah, we need people to talk to other businesses. Can you come talk to some service-based businesses about what they should be focusing on right now? Sure. So that is a whole nother network that I haven't explored, or I haven't explored in a while, that I can be using to build my business right now. So if you are a plumber, there is other people in your area that you could be contacting that would need your services. There is, if you're a dentist, there's somebody out in this area that needs dental services. If you're a chiropractor, there's somebody out there in the services in your area that needs your services, but they just don't know it, or you forgot about you. And you might have had a connection with them once upon a time, but it's kind of drifted off. It's like friendships. You've got to keep them healthy and revitalized. And if you don't tend to it, it disappears or it dies. So when it comes to your network of support, you need to be on top of mind. So not only just marketing what you do to your customers or potential customers, but also other people in your area that have a herd already. They have customers and clients that can use your services too. And so getting out there and networking and getting that back on there. And you can do it virtually right now. You can do it via email, but it's that connection. It's that some kind of say, hey, I'm out here. What do you need? When you go to network, the thing is you don't go in there like a used car salesman, or I was biting my tongue on saying that. Or if you're selling insurance, you don't want to be that guy or that gal. Hey, I'm Joe. I sell insurance. Have you checked your life insurance lately? When you go to network and you're reaching out to these people, you give first. Say, hey, I was thinking about you, or in person. Great to see you. Wonderful to see you. Hey, how's things going with you right now? What can I do for you? What can I help you in your business and make it happen? It's always from a position of give first. If you go in there and whoa and blow and tell about how awful your world is, and then ask them for a referral and say, hey, think of me, you lost it. Because right now they're so internalized. They need someone safe and to know you're there to help and support them in going through. So they need you to give first. They want you there. And the easiest, one of the easiest ways you can do this, and when you're building your network and looking to expand out, is look for complementary businesses. People have similar audiences, but you don't do the same thing. So, for a dentist, well, a lot of times we looked at the chiropractor. When I had my dental practice, we worked in a service base for our own office. The vet. They had people too. My people had animals. It just worked really well together. We had a relationship. They were a patient of my office. My animals were patients of their office. I knew a lot of details about what they did. I had no trouble recommending, but I had to put it out there and say, hey, let's talk about each other. So complementary services. If you're a physical therapist, or a physical trainer, is there a nutritionist, a dietitian, somebody that complements and do that? They have similar audiences, but they're not exactly the same. So who are those businesses? And if you don't have those relationships, reach out to them. Say, hey, I noticed you're new in town, or you've been here and we've never met. What can I do to recommend your services? Tell me a little bit about you. What is so great about your office? What do you guys do unique? What are you really proud of? What can I take and promote your business? And then once you have that conversation, say, hey, can I ask you a favor? This is what we do in our business, because we had that conversation. This is what we do in our business. How do you have an audience that would support that? How can we make that happen? Because it's about that relationship building and making it happen. So it's not just with your customers, your clients, your patients, it's with the people you do service. And then when we bring it all together, it's about serving first. So they need you as much as you need them. And there is wonderful people. And if it doesn't work out with somebody, there's another person down the road. Don't give up on that. Don't say, hey, I did it once, it never worked. If you got away from doing that, come back, do it again, and making it happen. Do it. So it's all about bringing it back together and making it happen. So your old school strategy for this week is to do two things. Reinitiate your network. So people in your community that you could be networking with who are new to your circles, or some people that you have to energize and reintroduce yourself. And then two, look for complementary businesses that you can work with that can use your services and your clients could use their services and make it happen. It's all about the yin and the yang. We want to do this together. You're sharing the love for your community, making that happen. And if you're in person services or you're virtual, there is somebody across the road or across the country that would still serve your clients and your customers. So it help them first, and then they can help you second. So I want you that's your mission this week. I want you to go through and make a list of it. This is an old school lesson that I had to relearn myself too this week. I forgot all about it because it just seemed so, I've already done it. You did it once, you forgot it, and you filed away. This is something you need to keep turning up. And I'd even go through in your calendar and set for about every quarter or, every 3 to 4 months to go back and redo these relationships or to cycle through and do it. So, the first quarter, I might be building relationships with one similar market. And the next quarter, I might go visit another one. And they just have on my calendar so it never gets off there. Because if they believe in you and you show love and to help them in their business first, they're going to support you back. And again, if it doesn't work out, no sweat. Go on. There's another business that can help you. So that is what we wanted to go through and share for our big tip for this week, and sharing that, making that happen. There we go. I'm back on. So that's what I want to share with you this week and making it happen. So that is your assignment. Go do it. Take care of it. This is Ginger. Till next week. Hey, if you have a chance, go over to gingerbratzel.com, over to our website. If you want to talk about more about how to do this or strategies for your office, you want to start with the simple or you want to go with the big and you're ready to do that and you want to get things flowing again, reach out to us and we'll do a exploratory get acquainted call and see if it's a good relationship for us to do it. So reach out to us over at gingerbratzel.com. Till next week, I'll see you then. Bye-bye.